go. Drowning deep in my sea of loathing, broken, your servant I nail. Will you give it to me? It seems what's left of my human side is only changing in me. Will you give it to me? Looking at my own reflection, when suddenly it changes, violently it changes. Oh no, there is no turning back now. You've woken up the demon in me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and the devil with the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. I can see inside you the sickness is rising. Don't try to deny what you feel. Will you give it to me? It seems that all that was good has died and is decaying in me. Will you give it to me? It seems you're having some trouble in dealing with these changes, living with these changes. Oh no, the world is a scary place now that you've woken up the demon in me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and the devil with the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. And when I dream, and when I dream, and when I dream, and when I dream, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and the devil with the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and the devil with the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness has now come over me.
Hello, everybody. Crafty Snark. Yeah, I figured I'd go live just for the fun of it. I haven't been live in a while on a few different things. You know, the whole Roe versus Wade thing, that kind of pisses me off. But I don't know if any of you are have the Newsbreak app. But I've got the Newsbreak app, and they've got all types of different types of news that happens, stuff that I find out about before anybody else finds about on the local news, whatnot, and so forth. I mean, it's a pretty great app. But apparently on Thursday, along with Roe versus Wade being shot down and whatnot and so forth, the Supreme Court decided to lessen. How do I put this? It's not so much that they're taking away the Miranda rights, but they're taking away a portion of it as far as you incriminating yourself, the Fifth Amendment. Basically, what they're saying is that the police don't have to warn you anymore. They don't have to give you the Mirandas, and they don't look at it as a right. So now it's not even a Miranda right. It's just the Miranda. And they don't have to warn you anymore about your rights as far as incriminating yourself. Here, let me pull up the story that I was working on. I'll give you the, the rundown of it on the story here. I don't know if you can see that. But the Supreme Court limits the ability to enforce Miranda rights. And basically what it says here is that Thursday, the Supreme Court said that suspects who are not warned about their right to remain silent, keyword right, cannot sue a police officer for damages under federal civil rights laws. So you can't take the federal law and sue a state cop. Can't do that anymore. So you got even let's say the whole sentence here, because I'm really bad at reading. Let me just tell you, I'm really bad at reading because I stop myself all the time. So suspects who are not warned about their right to remain silent cannot sue a police officer for damages under federal civil rights law, even if the evidence is ultimately used against them in their criminal trial. The court's ruling will cut back on an individual's protections against self-incrimination by barring the potential to obtain damages. It also means that failure to administer the warning will not expose a law enforcement officer to potential damages in a civil lawsuit. So that means that they're basically saying police don't have to read you your Miranda rights anymore. They can get away with not reading you your Miranda rights. So they can do everything in the book except read you your Miranda rights anymore. They don't have to do that anymore. Even though there is a law on the books here in Arizona, it's called Miranda versus Arizona, that states that law enforcement officers have to read the Miranda right warning. Supreme Court says, nope, no, they don't. Just like, most people are underneath the fucking conception that police are here to protect and serve. And you can go back into Supreme Court cases and you can find out that, no, that's not the case. They're not here to protect and serve. And then they wonder why they're getting so much gruff from people like me, normal citizens, on how they should act around police and how they should treat police, because, apparently police can do no wrong. What's up, Doherty? Check. Am I buffering? I don't know. Might be. All that 5G and shit's fucking everything up. Crafty, I'll tell you. Yeah. Tapatios, good morning, sir. Well, we'll continue on here. So basically what they're saying is that, the police don't have to read you your Miranda rights anymore. So it's not a right. It's not a right at all, technically. I guess it's a privilege now to know what rights you have and whatnot and so forth. Cool. Glad to hear it. So yeah, man, I mean, when I came across this the other night, it blew my mind. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So they're taking away Roe versus Wade. On top of them taking away Roe versus Wade, they're now going to go after contraceptive laws. They're going to be going after other fucking shit. And now they're hitting the Fifth Amendment. How long before, the First Amendment is taken from us and we can't do this anymore? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already have restrictions enough on YouTube. We can't, fuck them. We can't say COVID. Fuck you, YouTube. We can't say that. Why? Any other news agency can say it. Why can't we? Why can't we get into the fucking real topics of what's going on in our society without being shut down or having a strike warning or having our channels taken away? But they can have NBC up here saying the same fucking thing and they give them no fucking gruff. I wonder why that is. And then you've got the majority of the population that does not even want to even sit there and look at that situation. Oh, no. It's just you. It's because you're a cop watcher. It's because, you talk shit on the government. Don't you know government is good? They're good, right? I mean, I understand, people have pro-life choices. Great. I'm right in the middle. I respect both life and death. You know what I'm saying? There's certain situations that you can't take Roe versus Wade away. I'm sorry, but if my daughter gets raped by some fucking piece of shit and gets pregnant, I don't want her to have to fucking carry that guy's fucking kid if she doesn't want to. Now she has to. How about the little girl that gets, raped by her brother and ends up getting pregnant? Is that a situation that's okay? No, not anymore. But people don't think about that. People don't think about the fact that, there's a huge drug problem out there. And, people that do drugs have sex too. And they're not always the fucking smartest to put on a fucking condom or use birth control or anything like that. So they create a child. And I would say 7 times out of 10, most of the time, if the mothers are fucking drug addicted, they're not getting off the drugs even during the pregnancy. Which creates what kind of life for that child, especially if they're not wanted. So the woman has to carry the child. She's doing whatever with that child in her. She gives birth to that child, and then it ends up for adoption. Has most of these people that are all just pro-life, have they done the fucking statistics on how many kids actually get adopted? And then what kind of burden does that put onto our systems as far as each state is concerned? Because, of course, each state has different laws and they treat people differently in every shape and form. But I can tell you that most of the adoptions that happen in this country happen out of country. Hey, Nikki. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for the most part, the adoptions that do happen in this country are really small babies. And I can tell you that if they have medical problems, those babies will not get adopted. They will end up in facilities. They will end up in homes. And that child will not have the best life. It creates a burden on our government as far as states are concerned, because now you're going to have to put more money towards providing for those children. Not that I don't approve of that. I'm saying what it is you're creating an issue now. You know what I'm saying? How many of those all pro-life people that are all up for this shit that wanted this to fucking go, how many of those people are going to adopt the unwanted children? And how many children are they going to adopt? And, I was in a chat the other day when this passed on NBC. They happen to have their live chat running. And that's all I saw was, yay, 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 this is great, nah, 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 nah. So I start bringing up this shit, and nobody wants to answer any of the questions that I put into the fucking chat. Not a single person wanted to answer a single question I put in the chat relating to any of this, except for one. I asked how many people were willing to adopt all of these kids that were unwanted. And I got, of course, a troll response back with, how many are you going to adopt? Guess what? None. Why? Because I didn't want this to pass, so it's not my problem. Because I know the repercussions. I know the ripples. You know, it's like throwing a fucking stone in a calm fucking lake. Have you ever done that? Have you ever just saw a nice, calm, serene lake? No ripples in it at all. Just taking one rock, thrown it out there, and watch how the ripples expand. There's more than just one. There's more than just that initial ripple that you caused. There's more after that. Cause and effect, man. What the fuck is going on with our country? What the fuck is going on with our fucking people? Really? They want to sit there and say that Roe versus Wade, taking that away, doesn't affect anything else? That is bullshit. Do you know how much Roe versus Wade is connected to in our law systems? And I really don't think people fucking understand how fucking connected it is. And now they're going after our Fifth Amendment right? Because, you know, Mirandas aren't a right. They're no longer a right. You can't refer to it as the Miranda right. I mean, it stated it right here and here. I mean, what I got to do is I got to get the link to this and put it up. So that way everybody can read it all the way through. And, you know, it's ridiculous what is said in here, especially the case that they used to try and fucking spin it around, you know, and take it away. I mean, the case that they used in here was a fucked up case. It happened out here in Arizona. In fact, it happened out here in Phoenix. And what it was a case of a orderly that raped an immobilized woman. She couldn't speak. She couldn't talk. She was pretty much just comatose. He ended up raping her multiple times and ending up getting her pregnant. Right? Now, that's a fucked up case, and he got busted for it. But he tried to sue the police because they didn't read him his Miranda right, or they used something that he told them before the Miranda rights were written, I believe. Because they put that into the case. But what's our biggest fucking thing that we all know? Never talk to the police. Never talk to the police. It doesn't matter whether your Miranda rights were given to you or not. Anything you say to a police officer will be used. It just depends on whether you were smart enough in court to go, hey, whoa, hold on a second. He wasn't supposed to use that. That wasn't like a part of the case. That was before he read me my rights and I thought that I was being investigated and whatnot and so forth. That was long before. Doesn't matter. They still used it against you. They've done it many a times. And now they've got the Supreme Court on their side saying, hey, it's okay for them to do that now. They don't have to let you know that you have a right to a lawyer. They don't have to let you know that whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Again, as a citizen, you should know your laws. You shouldn't expect, you know, other people to tell you what's right and wrong. You should know what's right and wrong. That's how government works. And that's how it's going to start working from now on, because as I can see it, more and more and more of our rights are being taken away. I mean, how many rights are going to get taken away before, everybody actually stands up and goes, hold on a second. Whoa, this is going too far. What point are we going to have to get to? Is my question. I don't know. I have no clue what point we're going to have to get to for everybody in this country to go, hold on a second, you guys are going way too far. I mean, is it going to really have to get to the Handmaid's Tale for it? I mean, hell, you've already got a couple of fucking people in the fucking, political aspect that sound like commanders' wives and commanders. And hell, I haven't even seen the show. I've read the book, but I haven't seen the show. But I can tell you what, the little clips that I have seen that I was going to use for a video clip that I had come across, I should watch the show. Because frankly, I have a feeling that that's where we're headed, is a future like that if we don't stop. If we don't sit there and stand up for ourselves, we're going to have a hell of a future, in my opinion. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a feeling that that's what's going to happen. And I don't want that to happen. I would not want that on anybody. I do not wish that on anybody. I mean, hell, we're already in the fucking book of 1984. People just refuse to believe so. But what the fuck do you call a fusion center? Like Mesa's got up and running right now. Cameras on every single corner. Cameras on random buildings that are not theirs, but they have cameras on them. What's going on? No justice. Like, we're already in 1984. Our media is already controlled and edited behind the scenes. And if you have not read 1984, I strongly suggest that is a book that you read. And that was another book that was, what's the term? Dystopia? Instead of utopia, it's dystopia, I believe. Nice. Yeah, I need to pack a bowl here. I haven't even smoked yet this morning. It's been a fucked up week. It's been a really fucked up week. Can tell I'm in a mood. But I don't know, man. In my opinion, we're already in 1984. Our news is fucking edited to what they want us to know. There's cameras on every single fucking corner, light post, you name it. I mean, unless you're like out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But even then, I mean, birds are cameras now. Birds are cameras now. Oh. Hold on, cat. I got programs popping up on my computer. Oh. How we doing?
So you're noticing the birds?
Am I noticing the birds? The birds
the
was a joke, Crafty. I was
well,
going.
it's so funny that you say that, because there is some kinds of geese. Notice your numbers. It's really weird. Okay. And like your Chinese are involved with the robotics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a conspiracy theory out there that people are saying that birds are cameras now.
My daughter found them and chasing them out of a park. She has it on video, actually. Now, you see, the Chinese will mix this in with your quote unquote utopia.
Right.
And when you look at Japan, that used to be your Chinese airbase, right? I notice these things when they're talking on this stupid TV, like they were yesterday. They had a
Right.
Japan camera there, right? So I look at other things because I know when they're lying. They're lying to us right now. But your Miranda rights, yes. Over here on this side, they don't tell us.
They don't tell you your Miranda rights over there?
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
And I've been, in the cuffs a couple of times, but they haven't told me. And of course, when, Mr. Officer is a male and I'm asking for a female, I never get one. I never got one. So of course I raise my voice. Like, where's the female?
Right.
And they'll just bring a girl from downstairs, and that's it. And then you're left with the men. I was left with the man, actually, with Officer 3204 in 2015. Just because.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was the year that Justin Trudeau came in. And he was pissing with the door open. I was with 10 male officers. The officer, it was a rookie, okay? He didn't give me my Miranda rights. He called it the barn. Like, I'll see you back at the barn. Like, he's calling himself a pig. And obviously I'm laughing to myself. There was 10 of them.
It's crazy. But
Male.
don't they operate different?
Right.
Like they have different, like, don't they have like different
When they're coming
laws
for a
out
female,
there?
they should bring female officers, and I keep expressing that. Like, where's the female?
Right.
Same with
They
in January.
they don't have that policy.
No. Well, yeah.
Because I do I do believe it's like policy here in the United States on pretty much every law enforcement that if you're dealing with a female, you bring in a female officer. But that's to
She
avoid
came to the house.
lawsuits.
She came. Well, yeah, because she came to the house, right?
Uh-huh.
Knowing that I'm female, but my neighbor wasn't charged and touching me like he did. And what happened in the hospital? Why do you think I kicked up a fuss? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
As mad as you are right now, that's how mad I was in the hospital, throwing my cups and shit like that. That's exactly what was going on, because I shouldn't have taken anybody there, and that's what they were doing.
But we all know that if they have a badge, they're going to do what the fuck they want. Doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. I mean, for the most
same
part.
with the nurses all kind of stepped off, right, through all of that in January. Yeah, because they even said, "Can you get our nurses back?" And I thought, they don't want to come back. They walked away. Right. So you were left with pretty much people like me or Nikki answering phones, and I caught them doing that. I thought you were a nurse. No, I'm not a nurse. What the fuck are you doing here? Right? You think about it. Then what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna open my mouth for everybody else.
Well, and I think that's the problem is I think we need more mouths open and not shut.
Right. I mean, same with your CPS and your CAS on this side. It's one of them. What are you doing? Because the kids just get out of control, right?
Right.
My daughter was actually starved. When they want to run away, where do you think they're running to? That's where exactly they're running to. I noticed it myself. I thought, what the fuck? So if it's over on this side, just imagine what's on your side. The same exact.
I know
thing.
what's on my side. That's the problem. Is I know what's on my side. I've had experience in that system, and I know about it. And that's why I think this pisses me off more than anything else. Is, that with the experiences that I've had and with the people that I've known and
Mm-hmm.
the system that I know, this is just the wrong decision. And it shows that decisions are being made by people that it doesn't affect them. It doesn't
Right.
affect them. So they can make these decisions. It doesn't affect them.
No.
You know, it's until it affects them is when, oh no, God, we got to change this now. You know,
So
I don't get it. I don't get how somebody could have the opinion. That's like me telling you, you have to do something. You don't have to listen to me. So who the fuck is this
oh dear.
government to sit there and say, you have to do this? Fuck
Yeah, I
that.
understand. I think what's going on is they're just trying to drag you. You know what I mean? Like you'll turn it. We have the same laws. That's what I've been seeing. They're
For the
slowly
most part.
taking them away and turning you in. And like I told my buddy in Michigan, I'm like, they're turning you into Canada. Honest to God.
Unfortunately, I
Like
do
there's
believe that
fakery and fuckery.
you know, there's too much of it out there. And my
Yeah.
question is what's going to happen when they decide to take the Constitution and just go, you know what? Fuck this, we're
Mm,
starting over again, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
right. It's
You
like
know,
a new cycle, right?
right? Who's to say
There you
that the
go.
people are going to have a word in that Constitution or
This is
whatever
why you
is
need to
brought
stand up for
up?
your standing
Right.
up for your sovereignty. If you stand up for your sovereignty instead of your rights, it's the same kind of thing.
It is.
Right. They're just using different words. And
Well, and
it's
that's
a
always been my
global
biggest
thing.
thing. It's the wording.
Right. So now it's a global thing.
Well, there's some people out there that are saying that we're going to a global government instead of just a single government is where we're working ourselves towards.
Yeah, and you're kind of already there. And this is like a rebellion of some that don't want it and some
Mm-hmm.
that are not speaking up. Some are confused. Some are all high and just don't care.
And that's another reason why I think weed has gone recreational, and a lot of the states like what is it Oregon.
Portugal. Well,
Oregon
yeah.
is Oregon has decriminalized every single drug up into a certain point. So if you had some meth on you, if you had some
Hmm.
shrooms on you, if you had some heroin on you, as long as it doesn't exceed a certain amount, a certain grammage, you can have it on you. You can do it in the street. No big
Right.
fucking deal.
But it is a big deal when we think about it
It
logically,
is,
right?
but to the drug
Of
addicts, it's
course.
not. You know,
No,
yay,
to
it's a
the drug
win. I
addicts,
can
it
sit
won't
there and
be.
do my drugs and be
But
distracted.
in Portugal, okay, when I did some research, it's a Portugal model where they put them in a square, a circle, or a square. And then that way, like, I'm not going over there because these people are all high on whatever. And right now, it's Chinese meth that's killing a lot of people.
Well, the big epidemic down out here is meth.
Right. And it's in your vapes too. Like I learned about that a couple of years ago from somebody that did meth. So I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Well,
Whether he, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it was one of them ears perked up.
there's a lot of stuff that perks up my ears, but that's
Well,
where you got to go in and do some research and stuff.
especially if you have kids, right? It's one of them things that the kids get into it. And it's everywhere over here. Vape over here. Cannabis is there. It's just a lot.
Cannabis is not a drug; it's a plant.
It's a healing medicine too, right? Exactly. But the vape, it's one of them.
I don't know. I
It's
like my
synthetic.
vapes. I haven't heard anything about meth in vapes. I like
Well,
my vapes.
yeah. Just
Maybe that's
be
why.
careful. Yeah, it's just one of them. Some people actually make their own, right?
Right?
But this is the thing. Just be careful. Same with slipping it into MDNA or whatever the fuck. That's what they
Yeah.
do. Oh yeah. Well, think about how they get into your ports. Okay,
There we go.
like the canals.
Took
You
me
can
a
get
minute to
anything
figure it
into your
out.
country. Anything can get into your country.
Anything can get into any country. I mean, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of having the connections.
That's your sea law, your international law, right there.
Yeah, but the
It's
problem with
not.
sea law is unless it's like an army, well, not even an army, because once you're out in international waters, you're pretty much good. You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody getting busted in international water. It's once they pass the border of the land mass, which is like what, I think 300 nautical miles out from the coast.
Well, I know that Justin Trudeau's brother lives on the sea, so
Mm-hmm.
there's something right there, right?
If he's living out in international waters, he cannot be
Mm,
touched.
boom, there you have it. Same
I
with
mean,
like that
there's
movie Captain Phillips, right? You're with the pirates then.
well, Kat, haven't you ever heard of the pleasure boats that go and take people out into international waters? Like they had one in Florida for a while. I don't know if it's still running or not, but you could pay to go on this boat and they would take you out into international waters. And once they got out into international waters, they would open up their casino
Mm,
and they had strip clubs and this, that, and everything on this boat. I mean, it was a
right,
party boat. And then
right.
they would come back in, and once they came back in, they'd have to shut everything down so they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't get in trouble. But no harm, no foul.
No
You
harm,
know what
no
I'm
foul. So
saying?
there's your proud Mary. You put the water wheel back on the water of your Mississippi and all the other things. That's how you make the new generation money. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. There's a lot of gambling, a lot of gamblers. They go to the
Mm-hmm.
casinos right now. People go to the bar and they're betting on the horses. I know people
I
in Kentucky or wherever that bet over here in Woodbine because
I
they're
knew a
allowed.
I knew a guy in Jersey that would take his boat. It was a fishing boat. Like
Hmm.
he would charter it out. Like he would drive the boat, but you could pay for the day, and you and your family could get on this boat and go and fucking fish, right?
Right.
He would take his boat every once in a while with a couple of his buddies, and he would go out into international waters, and he would come back, but he would never have any fish.
Mm.
But this
So what?
motherfucker is rolling in money.
Right. Because he's getting money from the people, and we
He's
have that
getting he
down
know
right
what
at the
he
lake.
was no what he was doing is he was meeting another boat in international waters. He was collecting
Okay.
drugs and he was bringing it in. And
There you
he
have it.
wasn't any of the wiser because he is constantly in and out of international waters because of what he does.
Hmm.
So, it all depends on the connections that you have and what you do for a living. That shit's going to make it in. There's no
Well, look what they
stopping it
used to
all.
do. They used to come across on boat, all right,
Mm-hmm.
from Michigan to the six res and throw all the boxes of cigarettes and stuff like that from one tribe to another.
Uh-huh.
Like, how are you going to stop them?
Right?
And that's how they got their cigarettes. And yeah, exactly. Here's your pack. Get it over to Michigan.
Well, and that was always my biggest question is I know that there's spots that there's waterways and stuff that you can boat
Hmm.
across to Canada from the United States inside the mainland. And
Right.
that's always been my biggest thing is how do they do they have like a border patrol that runs along it kind of like we do along our southern
Yes.
border, they just drive along it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
they
cops
do?
are there and up above your head. There's helis. right?
Oh, there's
And
helicopters and planes and stuff that surveil that as well.
we saw a Lancaster. So it's one of them things like same with Federal Express over here, right? So there's always planes. So
Right.
somebody's gonna breaker. That's what happens. In fact, on the weekend when I was at the lake, you could see everybody wanting to get out on the water. And of course, there's cops looking for licenses, PFDs. Do you
Right.
have your, oh yeah, are you drinking? Because if
I
you're
finally
drinking,
figured it out, Kat. Finally figured it out.
what's that?
I figured out how to get the link for that freaking news break. Like I've never shared any of the links, so I'm sitting there trying to get the link off of my phone and I couldn't get it.
Oh, off the phone. Yeah,
Oh no, did I
it's in there.
can't be. Oh, okay. Cool. I accidentally hit put user in timeout.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. I'm on the wrong thing here. I need to pin it from here, the YouTube. You can tell it's been a long time since I've been live because I don't know how to operate this stuff anymore.
Mm,
But all right. I got that pinned.
there you go.
So there's that news link for news break about the Fifth Amendment and the whole story on it and their viewing on how it's not a right anymore.
It's like slowly taking your rights away.
Right.
However, you still have your sovereignty. You still, you know what I mean? Like you were saying about cameras everywhere. Yes, you're now
Right.
Big Brother. Big Brother is everywhere.
Slowly taking your privacy away. And
Hmm.
people that think that they've got secure cameras in their house as far as like home security and whatnot and
No,
so forth, don't think that it's so secure. That
right,
shit can get hacked just as easily as anything else, and people could be watching you just like they could be watching you off your computer, your phone, whatever.
right, exactly, because it's all updated, right? So
Mm-hmm.
even Alexa, unplug it, unplug the bitch, or put her
Right?
outside. Unplug her.
Don't
It's
what?
bad
Yeah.
enough that you're, yeah, or use it back on them. Like I always say, Google, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Google gods, go fuck yourself, or bring down our on our side. Our internet is a bit higher, right? So it's one of them things. That's exactly what I do. That's
I do that
exactly what
with
I
I
do.
do that with stuff. I ask random questions like that. Like I'll go into Google and I'll ask how we take down the government and see what
Yeah, I
kind of
turn around and
response
I
I
say,
get.
let me guess, Prince Harry's not going to get this Corvid or COVID or whatever the fuck you call it. Boom. He didn't get it, did he? No, exactly. So it's one of them. He must be listening to me because I had said something about save a horse, ride a cowboy. Boom, there it was.
Yeah.
It's one of them things that we noticed even on Facebook when you type in like horse or whatever, then all those things come up like um, why is everything horses? And their advertisements like horse brew coffee or whatever. Yeah, it's weird because they are listening.
They are listening.
They're listening. So me and they've always been listening though. They have a huge room where they take you. It's great.
Oh, you got to say it. You can't type it. How do I take down the government?
Oh, well, you remember the? Oh, you have to talk to the
Oh, it
phone.
doesn't. It just says here's what I think. Oh, and it just links you. So it's not even like, yeah, see, I haven't done it on this phone yet. It doesn't even talk to you anymore. It just sets you to links. So this one sent me to what are things we can do to fight the government? And that's pretty much it. It just gave me 30 answers.
So they're giving you almost like legal things to do.
Yeah, kind of.
Weirdness. And remember, the Google gods make this. Here, this is how you take us down. Lies. Yet again.
right?
Mm,
Yeah, it's bringing me to all like pro-government stuff.
uh-huh. I don't even believe half of this shit
First of
that
all,
they say.
stop blaming government for everything. This is not North Korea. No, but if you keep letting them go, it's going to go that way.
You have to hold them accountable, right? So,
That's the
like
whole
on
point is
Friday,
accountability.
I called the MP. No joke. I called the MP because of the river, and I'm tired of seeing shit in the river and the city not cleaning it up. Guess what? I'll be doing. And I not only called him, I called the one that used to sit with. Well, he sits with Justin Trudeau. So I made that noted. I use my voice, and then I
Right.
take my camera and I here move the fucking tree off my rock, man, and move
I
this and
I
cut
can't,
this tree.
I can't
Yeah.
say that I can't say that I haven't done that because I've had the city come up to me and go, "Hey, your weeds or your grass is too high or something. It needs to be cut." And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, all right,
It's
I
20
got you.
centimeters.
So you want to hold me accountable for my grass? I got you. I go on all these city properties. Look at all this
Right.
fucking shit. No.
Exactly
This
my
needs to
point.
be cleaned up.
Exactly my point. So they had a rental house
Hey,
when I
too
was a
tall.
kid. I too tall. They had a rental house when I was a kid, and of course, here comes the city. The grass was way too big, but I saw a sign. I saw a sign, and it opened up my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing. They're not really saying things. Start looking around because they're not going to tell you. They're
Right.
just going to put, oh, well, yeah, yeah. Like I've said, why is there two capitals, Toronto and Ottawa? It doesn't make sense to me. Never did until you actually look at the map, and that's what happens. The people do forget.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff about
My
our
own family
country that I
included.
just don't get, like how we park on driveways and we drive on parkways. I don't get that shit.
We like the big box stores though, like that America has, so that we can just go to the one store, right?
I don't know. I miss my Radio Shack.
Radio Shack is now the source.
Yeah, well, they don't have any Radio Shacks out here anymore, and
It's
any
now called the
electronic
source.
stores, huh?
It's now called the source.
Not
Radio
out here.
Shack
Not out
changed
here.
their name to the source.
Not out here.
Okay, well then you
I'm
need to
telling you,
sue.
I've tried searching for them and their affiliates, and not out here. Maybe up in Canada, but not out
Mm-hmm.
here.
They're here.
Well, then they need to move back down here because I miss my Radio Shack.
Okay, well, how's this? Take your fucking winners back, and we'll give you back one Radio Shack. Or how about opening your mouth for? We have Dollar Tree and Subway. So why don't you open your mouth for these things? That's what I'd be doing. Hey, Canada's got this, a Dollarama,
We have
right?
Dollar Tree. We also have
Okay, a
Dollar General
Dollarama.
and
This is
99 cent stores
no,
and
you want
5.99 stores.
no Dollarama goes to $4, and they do sell food.
we have we have Five Below. Five Below is $5 and below. They still sell stuff that's over $5, so I don't get that, but
Right. So
it's their
that's
store,
it's a yellow and green thing, like the follow the yellow brick road, right?
right?
Wizard of Oz. Exactly. Like so, you see, the kids know signs, right? Look, it's Subway. Look, it's Arby's. Look, it's McDonald's.
Oh
They
yeah,
know all of that. 7-Eleven.
everything as far as colors and everything are concerned. I mean, that's why
Mm-hmm.
they got on McDonald's so hard, is because of their colors and the way that they were set
Golden
up.
Arches.
You're you're marketing to kids. You can't do that anymore. Now you got to look all gray and depressive and corporate.
They changed them, didn't they?
Oh,
And it's like Wendy's is just sitting there kind of alone and lonely. Not no Wendy, sorry, Burger King.
A lot
One
of
of
our
them.
Burger Kings have actually closed down. They haven't been doing so well.
Somebody said that to me. Like, you still have that open? It's like, yeah, yes, of course we do,
Yeah,
and it still gets used.
I think we've got like maybe two Burger Kings that were near us that ended up shutting down because they just weren't making the business. But that was also during the pandemic too, and I don't know when uh I don't know if they were like franchise owned or if they were, like privately owned. You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of that
Mm-hmm.
fucking I don't know the name of it.
Usually they are. Franchises are privately owned.
Right, but I didn't. There's some that would be like owned straight by Burger King. They're run corporate owned, and
Yeah,
then franchise owned.
you have to
So
do what head office always says. So
yeah,
when they say to renovate, you have to renovate, kind of like Tim Hortons and
nice.
all of them, because it's no Justice is laughing. What are you laughing at, No Justice? You're funny. The last Radio Shack I went down the street, emo used to live. Well, that's what it's called now. It's the source. Get it? Source. Ooh.
That's funny. Although I did see a Radio Shack in Thatcher, but it was a fake Radio Shack. Like they just kept
Stop.
the sign up on the
So,
building, and I was like,
oh,
"Ooh,
they
a
are.
Radio Shack!" So I stopped, and it was actually like a car audio place. They just didn't want to take down the Radio Shack sign because it was vintage.
Right. I'm telling you.
I was
It's
like,
like
"That's
the
fucked up. You're luring people in by Radio Shack."
right, and we Sam the Record Man, and it was something downtown, right? And it's art. So of course we're like, hello, where the fuck are you putting Sam the Record Man?
Right.
They brought it back. Of course, you scream for these things, guys. You gotta scream. And like kind of like yesterday with quote unquote our gay pride. Those are the times that you get out there and you start saying what you want and what you need. All those like little festivals, you start talking to the people around you.
Right.
Plant your seeds. Right. These are
Yeah,
the things that
unfortunately,
we
I
do
didn't get
on
a
this
chance to
side.
make it out to our Pride Fest this year.
Ours is huge. It's the biggest.
Ours is pretty big as
And it's
well.
not as big as Toronto.
I need to go up to Flagstaff though. I hear Flagstaff has a great fucking
It,
Pride
it
festival up
generates
there.
a lot of, yeah, over here it generates a lot of tourism, and like they come from New York. First time I only went once. Okay.
Well,
And
I've got family
packed.
that's in that community, and it's like I don't mind. I support it, but it also supports me monetarily because I make
Yeah.
some pretty cool Pride roach clips, so they sell pretty
Right.
quick.
It was like I was telling Nikki, she could have just, this is where they hand out, the cops. We kicked the cops out of the freaking Pride Fest because of what they've done in the 60s. Just because it's like, no, get out of here.
Right,
And we don't care if
right,
you're part of the parade and you're gay. Like, you choose your side, either in or out.
right.
And that's what happened. Yeah.
They
Shut
do
the
have
parade
an
down.
online store. Radio Shack does have an online store, but I don't like their online store. I don't like online stores. I like being able to
No.
go look at things, hold it, look at it, see what it looks like, see how big it is. Because
Tangible.
the way the way my mind works, especially right now, because I'm in the process of getting back into coding programs and everything like that. To make lights work and display screens work and whatnot and so forth. I like to be able to go and look at my electronics and see how big they are because that tells me what kind of container I'm going to need to put those electronics into the container. So it's just I like to hold things. I like to see it by hand. Seeing it on a picture and then having it sent to me, and I'm disappointed because it's too big or it's too small or it's this or it's that or it doesn't work right, and then I got to send it back Fuck that. I'd much rather go to the store. I like local shopping. Local shopping needs to come back. People need to get off their lazy ass and start going back out to the stores. Malls need to reopen. God damn it, I miss the mall.
They're open here.
We have a few malls, but it's just mainly like it's not like how it was where you used to go to the mall and they had like all these little stores in between it. Like you have to like go to like a really good mall out here, like Arrowhead or something, to get something like that. Most of the malls, like we have a mall down the street, literally down the street from me, that was a great mall, and it shut down. Like not even the big places like Macy's or JCPenney's want to stick there. The only place that's there right now is Walmart, and that's because they were attached to it.
But it's rent, right? They spend a lot in rent. So when they spend a lot in rent, it's like,
but that's the problem. Yeah, but that's the problem with Amazon coming out, and pretty much you can go on to any website right now. You can look up any store. It doesn't matter what it is, because those stores that closed down out of the malls are now online. Because that's the way they figured that's the only way they'd survive. Plus, they don't have to pay rent. They don't have to worry about their merchandise getting stolen. They don't have to worry about all this bullshit, paying employees, this, that, and the other. It takes away a lot of shit. I understand. Business-wise, it does. It takes away a lot of fucking overhead. But I am also one of those people that does not like to shop for my pants online. I like to go to the store. I like to look at the pants. I like to try them on. If they don't fucking fit right, I'm not going to buy them. Why should I spend $30 on a pair of pants to turn around and say, hey, I want my money back. Here's your pants back. Right. You know, like there's certain things that you just...
They do that here. They're doing that over here. They're making condos and businesses on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you know what I've said? That your MP or your mayor, whatever, they've already gone around and said that can go, that needs to be this, that needs to be that.
Yeah, but see, you know what's years ago. Yeah, but see, you know what's messed up is we have a light rail that's being put in. It's kind of like a above ground subway track, whatever you want to call it. But when they did the planning for this years ago, they had run the track to that mall, like directly to that mall. They have a fucking bridge that goes over the interstate. They were going to have like this fucking little station that everybody can go up to from the mall. And now the mall's closed. And now they're trying to figure out how to revitalize the mall to get it reopened, so that way that stop is worth being there anymore. I mean, they're trying. Our local government is trying to dump $2 billion, not million, $1 billion into that property to get it up and running again. So that way it makes it feasible for the fucking tram car or whatever the fuck you want to call it to go over there. It's
called an LRT, light rail transit.
Yeah, I call it a tram car. Because I'm from, you know, I grew up in Jersey, and if you've ever been to Jersey and you've been to the Wildwood Boardwalk, you know what the tram car is.
Exactly. It's almost, they've dug these up, okay? The train tracks are all connected. So they've dug them up, but then when they dig down, they're there again. They've actually pulled a ship out of Toronto. And now they're putting, like, we have so many condos being built over here. It's nuts. And squirrels. Okay, easy. Nuts and squirrels. And the roads have been dug up.
While Arizona families were
damn ads.
And the LRT will go all the way up to the next town. Which is
north. See, ours doesn't do that, but it well, I mean, I guess it does, because I got to keep remembering that Phoenix isn't just this giant fucking city mass in the middle of fucking Arizona, because you've got Phoenix, you've got Mesa, you've got Scottsdale, you've got Glendale, you've got Tempe, you've got Chandler, Deer Valley, Cave Creek, Happy Valley.
Mm-hmm.
There's seriously like fucking 8 or 9 cities that have all just become one out here, and that
Right.
light rail runs a good majority of them. It runs down into Mesa, it runs down into Scottsdale. I don't know if it runs all the way into Apache Junction, but I mean that thing spans. It does. I mean, if you I wonder if it's just like, I think that they've got like a couple of different, like the bus, it's a couple of different routes, but
Right.
I'm not sure. If it's just
Yeah.
one big route, I wouldn't mind paying $2 to take a nice little tour,
Do you know that a lot of
not
people
have to drive.
are not driving and they're taking the transportation? That's what they want you to do. They want you on these transportations, okay? Because a lot of things are going to be the innovation of these new cars is here in Ontario. It's already started on this side where you have to gas it up, but they get good mileage, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and
Mm-hmm.
it's slowly but surely doing that here. I mean, our gas is like slowly creeping up to the
Oh, they're
point
going to
where we
strangle
can't even
you.
afford it anymore.
Right. That's exactly why they're going to strangle you that way. So you get on this transit.
Oh my god. No, I don't want a 4-hour loop of it.
No, I understand that.
No,
But
no, not you. No, not what you said.
Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please. Watch
is it
the tram car, please.
Bombardier that you
Watch
guys
the
are
tram
getting over
car,
there?
please.
Oh my God. Watch the tram car, please.
that
It's like
that
in.
that noise right there is the tram car on the Wildwood Boardwalk, and it's just like you pay $3, you jump on this little cart thing. It's like a thing on wheels, and it runs up and down the boardwalk, so you don't have to walk the whole length of the boardwalk. But that's all you hear when you're up on the boardwalk is video games and watch the tram car, please.
My goodness. Can you imagine? Watch the
Oh,
tram car, please. Watch the
I
tram car.
can.
Mind the
Now
gap.
imagine working one of those games right on where those things pass by, and all you hear is the same 3 songs over and
No.
over and over again for 12 hours straight, while you're watching a bunch of idiots run around and waste their money and spend
Uh-huh.
like fucking $5 to try and get a 50-cent stuffed animal.
Yeah. That's
It's
like
like,
that's like at Canada's Wonderland where you're like, what in the hell are you doing? You know, because
oh,
half of those carnivals, when they had the carnivals just here at the mall,
thanks, no justice.
it's one of those
Yeah.
things where
Yeah, it's one of those
is
things.
this rigged? I'd rather just pick up the duck.
I
You know
can
those
I
rubber
can
ducks
tell
that
you
go around?
I can tell you for a fact, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but I can tell you for a fact that a lot of those carnival games are rigged.
Yeah.
Like
They put like
you have to do certain stuff to
mm-hmm,
make it land where you want it. So like, let's take the basketball. Like
right.
even the small basketballs, like in the booth where you see the small basketballs and you got about like 5 hoops in a row, all
Mm-hmm,
of those hoops are oval. They're not even
right.
round, they're oval. And you have to hit a certain spot on the backboard to get it to go in. Otherwise, it won't go in. I don't know how many people, when they handed me their money, I told them and I walked over and I pointed out the spot. They still wanted to try to get it
Couldn't
to go
do it.
straight up and in. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. You got to go off the backboard. I'm telling you, you got to go off. And I got caught by my boss telling a customer one
Uh-oh.
day, and I got reamed hard. He goes, if I ever catch you doing that again, you're going to be fired. You can't do that. You're not supposed to tell people that this stuff is rigged. And I was like, but it is. It's
See, and
fucking
that's,
rigged.
but we would
Like,
ask them. We would ask them, and you know, being girls and what have you, they're going to tell us. And it was one of them. Okay, so why would you want me to pay when they're all rigged? And he would say, like
right?
the apple baskets, they put like a wax on it. The peach baskets, whatever, when you have to throw the baseball in there, and they come
Those
back
those
out.
actually those actually here, the way that those work is the bottom is so thin that if you
Mhm.
try to throw it in, it's going to bounce it right back out like a trampoline. What you have to do is you have to put
Lop it.
like a you have to put like a forward spin on it. So you got to put the spin of the ball towards the bucket. You can't do backwards because if you do it backwards, it's going to roll back out on you. You got to put the
Mhm.
spin towards the bucket. And even then, when you put it towards the bucket, you want to try and get it where it rolls up the side and then rolls into it. You don't want it to go directly in because even if you have that forward spin on it, it's going to hit the bottom and it's going to come right back out.
Come
You
right
want to
back
hit the,
out.
yeah, you got to
Yeah.
want to make it like roll side to side to make it go in there. You don't want it to hit the back at all.
You see, they would see us every day, right? Because we were bored, and of course, stuffed animals. And
Right.
it would, yeah. Hello, I took one. Whatever. Um, whatever. And
Hey, I like my
it was.
stuffed animals. I played my crane games. I got to tell you, a lot of those arcades on that boardwalk changed their crane fucking grabbing style because I ended up clearing out a shit ton of their machines one time.
They just would come to the mall with their little rides and what have you, and then go on to the next mall. And it would be like, all right, just go there at nighttime, and they're giving us those things where we can throw at the pop bottles. I'd be like, I don't want to play.
Right.
I just want to try it. I want to try. Like, I don't care about winning anything. And we were young. So,
Yeah, and if they let you do that, that's cool. But for the most part, they'll be like, "Nah, you gotta pay," because if they get caught letting you do like a free thing, because I used to do like the big basketball hoops too for the big
right.
prizes, and I would give people a chance to at least, I'd tell them, "Hey, these things, these things are fucking rigged in a
Right.
way, so you gotta hit the backboard. So I'm letting you know how to do it." But if you can't do it, what my thing was, and I was always the highest generating booth. My thing was is if you paid for the 3 basketballs instead of the one,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like 1 basketball for 3 basketballs for 5,
$3.
right?
Okay.
So yeah, $3 for one, and then it was like $5 or $6 for 3 of them.
You're
So
like, give me
if
three.
they got the three, if they got the 3 and they made their shots and they still didn't get it, I would give them a chance to get a free shot if they could answer a riddle.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
how I got people. That's how I got people to my fucking booth. And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
became the highest rated booth out there is people would pay for the 3 balls because most people would only pay for 1 ball. And
Right.
my bosses were like, well, we got to get people to start paying for the 3 because, that brings us in more money. Nah. Fine. I can do that. But apparently it's a bad thing to give away a free shot, even though they paid for the 3 shots. I can't give them a chance to answer a riddle and then get a free shot if they answer the riddle.
That's
And the
cheesy.
riddle was easy. It's like, how do you get down off a duck?
How do I get down off a duck?
How do you get
I'm
down off a
already
duck?
down. I'm already down if I'm ducking.
How do you get down off a duck?
I don't know. Now I'm thinking of down, like a down duvet cover. Oh my goodness.
How do you
How do,
get down off
come
a
on,
duck?
Chad, help me out. How do you get down off a duck? Freaking hell. And the ducks
You
are
pull
around
the
me all the
feathers.
time. I should, oh, pull the
You
feather.
pull the feathers. The down pillow is just a feather pillow.
You
So
see,
you
now I
take
was thinking of the down duvet. Exactly. You
yeah,
went,
see, you were there. You were close.
yeah,
But I
I'm
mean,
telling
it's
you,
just
because,
simple riddles like that I would tell people, hey, how do you get down off a duck? And
well,
then I would tell them the answer to the riddle, and I say, if you want to come back later, I'll ask you the same riddle later, but you got to pay for 3 balls later. And those people would come back, and then
of
they'd get
course
their
you
free
would.
shot.
And they're playing a Canadian game. How cool is that? Hi, good citizen. Pluck the duck.
Right?
Yeah, well, pluck the duck. I
Good
mean,
citizen.
if I ever get hungry, they always come to me, right?
So I don't know. I had my fun on the boardwalk, but it wasn't like I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I let people know up front, look, this shit's fucking crooked as fuck. But if you want to play it,
Go right
I gave
ahead.
them the option. I gave them
I
the
went on a
option.
ride once, like that salt and pepper ride, whatever. Oh, it was called the Zipper. And I
I have
swear to
never
you, they
ridden
do
the
it to me
Zipper.
on purpose. They do it to me on purpose. They did it to me on purpose when I said, don't. Like I'm telling the guys, okay, I'm done now. Yeah, right. They making me freaking go around even more. I'm like, you know how high I am right now? Me and my girlfriend were high.
Right?
Yeah, because when you go by them, you're like, okay,
I can't say
you can
nothing.
stop now. And it, because they didn't stop the ride.
No, they won't. Because the more you say
Mm-mm.
don't, they'll keep going and they'll go faster. Because I know those
Right.
ride operators.
Oh, they were doing it like faster. And we're like, holy
Uh
fuck.
huh.
It's
Me and
like,
my
you
buddy
know
went
what?
out.
Don't say anything to them when we're going by them the next time because
Right?
honestly, they're fucking
Don't say
just
anything.
they're doing it on purpose. Because I'd be like, stop the ride, and they'd be like, no, motherfucker, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna spin you even more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
My
why.
buddy learned that the hard way because we went out one year and we
Maybe I
ended up
wanted
getting
it.
on this insane ride. But me and him, that was back when I was like back into like, you know, Percocet and stuff. So he ended up taking 2 Percocet. I took 2 Percocet with him. So we're feeling pretty good. We get on this ride and he's doing good
My
for
point.
the good majority of the ride. And then he's like, oh man, they need to stop. I'm like, don't say anything. And he goes, stop the ride. I'm like, no, don't say
Like,
anything. And they went faster.
freaking stop.
I was like, and
The other one that was crazy was over in Long Island, New York. Oh, what was that freaking thing called?
oh, he puked all over himself just as they stopped the ride. He
Martin
held
Island.
it. Then the guy went to go unlock the chest thing, and he went. Bleh.
I think it was Martin Island. That's over in Buffalo. Man,
Those were some
I
good
screamed on that
times, let me
one.
tell you.
Yeah, carny rides. If you die, oh
Oh, I'm
well.
telling you.
It's adrenaline.
If I could do it anymore, I mean I would, but I feel like once I go to a fucking fair after a day of fair, I feel like I've been in a train wreck anymore. It's sad.
You need
I'm
Canada's
getting old.
Wonderland.
I'd love to go up there. You
I'm
don't even
gonna
know.
show you what
I'm so
Canada's
tired of the
Wonderland looks
United
like.
States.
Yeah.
Hey, good citizen, if
Canada's
you're still
Wonderland is
watching, I
awesome.
might be moving up into Colorado, man. Like I said, the wife's looking at houses in Colorado.
So this is like the Leviathan, all right, and the Yukon Striker. I have rides to catch up on. Seriously.
I think the fastest. I think I rode the so far. I think it's still the fastest and tallest ride. I rode the King to Ka, and the King to Ka is down in Six Flags in New Jersey, and this motherfucker, it'll start at 74 miles an hour. It goes from 0 to 74 miles an hour within 2 seconds. And it shoots you down a straight track, and then you go straight up, you corkscrew up, you go over an arch, you come back down, you corkscrew down, and then you come back into the fucking station. Not a very long ride. But let me tell you what, do not stick your arms up on that ride because they will not come down until you reach the top of that arch.
Mm-hmm.
They will be pinned behind you because of how fast you are fucking going.
G-forces. It's a G-force. It's awesome. So the Leviathan is the same. And there's no seatbelts in that. My daughter went on it. She was scared as hell when she saw it from the parking lot. Like, oh my God. But she went on it a couple of times because she likes the front of the roller coaster. Momsy, she likes the back. I'm like, you're doing it wrong. You need the back. That's where you get the more lift. Because, you know, the carts. It's great. She's like, no, I like the front. I like to see where I'm going.
You know, I'm all about roller coasters, but there is one roller coaster that scared the ever-living shit out of me, and that's because, like, literally, I almost came up out of the seat. Like, I think this roller coaster needs seatbelts, not lap bars. It needs seatbelts.
They have lap bars over here and seatbelts now.
Yeah, no, this thing had lap bars, but the lap bars,
Mhm.
unless they put like a huge fucking foam thing that goes like right on your fucking legs and holds you in,
That's what
it's
they
not
do.
it. They don't do that at this place. So, fuck, what was the name of this place? It was up in Pennsylvania.
Mm.
Um, I'll get shit. I don't know the name of the place, but
I know
we
that
went to
they
this.
changed them over here.
Yeah, now it's gonna bother me. Hold on.
Like it used to be a bench on our roller coasters, which were wooden, and now you've got the 2-seater. You have a seatbelt, you have a lap bar, and then you have that old thing. It was more fun back in the day. Where you're like, wee.
Knobles. That's what it was called. It's called Knobles. And they have like this fucking like ancient wood roller coaster. I
Yeah, that's
love the
what we
roller
got over
coaster.
here. Yeah,
Love the roller coaster. I
that's the
loved
Mind
it.
Buster, and it's called the Wild Boar, and
Yeah,
they check these things, okay, like the nuts and bolts, because these things are rocky, but it's fun, and that's where the lap bars come in and the old bars. But it's one of them. It used to scare the shit out of people because you get that airlift. On the
yeah. Well, I
Mind
mean,
Buster, you go through a dark tunnel, and of course, that's where I scream. Wah! It's great.
yeah. Well, I mean, this place has a lot of cool rides. Don't get me wrong. They got like a lot of old rides, like the old motor
Hmm.
boats that you would sit in and you'd go down. They got trains and stuff that you can ride on. They got all types of different rides, and I love the rides. But uh, did they rename it the Phoenix?
We have the
I'm looking
Dragon
at their
Fire
ride
over
list.
here.
I'm looking at their ride list right now. It looks like they changed the name of it to the Phoenix,
Oh, do they?
which wouldn't surprise me if they updated the ride because, like I said, that ride was pretty fucking crazy. But it looks like they renamed it the Phoenix. But I mean, this ride, I literally almost came out of the car. Like I had to grab the lap bar and pull myself back in. Otherwise, I would have been out the car on a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
on a certain hill. And it
They
was
took
like,
out,
wow, man, like that scared the ever living shit out of me. Yeah, they
yeah,
renamed it the Phoenix, but it
like
wasn't
I've
called the
squished
Phoenix
those
last time.
bars, and it's one of them. Like, can you breathe? No, not really, but I want safety. And
Yeah,
that was in like the stand-up roller coaster because everybody's taller than me, so you had a bicycle seat just in case, like people are gonna faint. There's your bicycle seat,
right.
sit down and wait for the ride to be done. But yeah, standing up and they're like, enjoy your ride, and it's like, yeah, I will, because it was cool, right? But they
Right.
took that one out. hmm They took it out and they put something else in there. So
No
whatever
doubt.
they take out, they will replace it with another roller coaster. They have little water things there
I
where you're like,
I
"Wee, look at all the water."
Well, that's what I got to say about Knobles. I mean, Knobles is crazy. When you go to Knobles, like they have a lot of newer roller coasters and stuff, but like I said, they have like a lot of old rides because
Hmm.
it's a pretty old amusement park. There is
Splendid.
no it there is no admission fee to go into the amusement park. The only thing that you got to
Really?
pay for is the tickets to ride or your food or whatever because it's right next to a campground. So
Oh,
what it
okay.
was it was a campground that had a small amusement park attached to it, and it's just grown over the years, and it's family owned, and it's never changed, other than
Like
getting
Cedar
some new
Point.
rides and whatever. But as you're walking through there, you can see like they have posts of different dates and stuff of where like their stuff has been completely flooded due to rains and
Hmm.
whatnot and so forth. And it's like, wow, man, like just to see that 3/4 of the fucking carousel was covered in water at one point in time is pretty fucking cool. Like there's a lot of history involved in this place. I would say if you go and you visit it, it's probably one of the only places that has an original bobsled roller coaster. And if you don't know what a bobsled roller coaster
We
is
have that.
it's a wood
We have
track.
that here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, do you? Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
called the
wood track.
Alpine. It's
Yeah,
called
it's
the
a wood.
Alpine, and it goes around, and it's got all the flags on. So you know that we were waiting on. We always went to the. We need to go to England, or we need to go to Canada. You're already picking out your car, which one you want, plus your
Right.
bumper cars. and the Thunder Run was there. So you kind of tackle the park the way, like, okay, I'm going into the park. We paid the admission. It was like 50 or something like that to get into the park. We
Yeah.
always used to. It was since 1982, right? And then we had Smurf Village, Hanna-Barbera Land. So you have these coaster coasters. That's a wooden coaster. It's cool. But you
It
get
is.
tired when you walk around that whole of the park. Canada's Wonderland. You're like, all right, I'm tired now. Because you get up in
I think
the,
you get tired
you're in
around
there for
any
the
amusement
morning.
park,
You got to line up, right? So you're
right?
like, oh my God, would you people go home? Because they come from everywhere.
It's
So you're like, where did you
11:30.
come from? Oh, I came from this place, like just down the road, me. And they would come from like, oh, we come from Whitby. We're coming from up north. We're coming from Niagara. Heck, you could be American and be over here. You'd be like, all
Yeah.
right, cool, cool.
Sounds like one of those places that's, just been around. It's like right in that perfect location.
Yeah, it's got a mountain. They dive off of the mountain. They even put it's called the vortex, so it takes you up the mountain and down, and then breaks right at the end. And it's older. When they get older, then they get a little bit rockier, but they still do testing. They will test with the quote unquote crash test dummies.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
I
winter too.
they just put in a natural roller coaster. It's not like what they call it is a natural roller coaster. They put in a roller coaster up north in Williams, where it's just basically you sit on a cart and you have control of the cart. You have
Mm.
the control of the speed, but it runs with the natural landscape of the mountain. So you go all the way up to the top of the mountain, and then you come down on the cart, which is pretty cool, and you get to see everything, see views and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome.
You know what
I
they
can't
do
wait to
here?
ride that.
They take your picture when you're coming down the hills. You know, when you're getting up, and then you're going to go
Right,
down. They take your picture of your expression, like, oh my God, like you see everybody, right? So, and then you have the option to buy your picture. They always are trying to grab you for something like, oh, we'll take your picture over here, and then you can
right.
get your little keychain over here, and you can look into it, and then that's
Well,
you.
that's a big moneymaker right there for them. You don't even know exactly, like, maybe you do, but I
Jewelry.
mean, as
Hmm.
far as for me, I working in industries like that, I know exactly how much money they make out of that shit and how much money they pay for their
The
stuff.
souvenir shop. The
Yeah,
souvenir
the
shop
souvenir
gets a
shop
key,
alone, just the picture souvenir shop, because I think, what
a
is it,
PDF.
like $30 now just to get one picture in a frame, and all they paid was like maybe $1 for the frame, and however many cents it costs for the paper and the ink, and
Yeah.
like the printer was paid off long ago. So
Oh,
it's
for sure.
like, yeah, they make a lot of money off that. Hey, PDF,
And
what's going
and
on?
they it's just the food there. Like if you're not bringing food, it's
See, that was the great thing about Knobles, is you could bring in your own food. There was no worries about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could bring a fucking family and like go, like you were going to the park, and bring a
right.
grill and shit, and you can
You could
grill over
leave
there.
the
They didn't give a
park.
fuck.
You can leave to the parking lot, and that's what we used to do. We would leave to the parking lot, and we would have a cooler, and we would all just sit there because when the family came from England, it would be like, yeah, we're going to Wonderland, and we would have our, time, and then we would hit the next ride. Like we would all sit there and say, okay, which ride are we going on next? Let's go this way. Let's go this way.
Right.
Right, because you hit the parking section. That's what
Yeah.
you do.
I kind of miss going to amusement parks. We don't have one close to here.
Well, we have funnel cake over here, so you would go into the medieval times area, and you'd be like, "What in the hell is that smell?" And the funnel cake is huge.
I miss funnel cake. I gotta say though, my favorite food out of carnival food or anything like that is usually the pickles. I'll get about like 2 or 3 of those huge pickles and just munch on them. But that also like replaces my salt content for me sweating and shit.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know.
And then they would have the Spanish dancers, you know. They have the entertainment. For sure. They have a band shell there. They even do like the last time I went, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been in so long. I'd have to catch up on all the rides. I'd have to pack my courage. I could do 23 stories straight down. But, you know, the last time I went, I smoked a joint and I was like, goodness, here we go.
Yeah.
I haven't been here for a while, but standing in the sun too, right? I wear my hat. Make sure you get your Tylenol if you're going there. Some people go to the beer and they just kind of drink.
Yeah,
You
if
can
you
get a
notice as I'm
walking pass.
scrolling through here, this is that park. If you notice that I'm scrolling through here, it gives different dollar prices for each ride.
Oh, no,
So
over here.
there's no admission per se, but I mean like you got to pay for the rides. But I mean I got to say for an amusement park, I probably spent less at Knoebels than any other amusement park I've ever been to.
Hmm. Well, we
Plus
went to Santa's
I like
Village.
their style. They try to keep it old school. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying?
went
Like
to
how
Santa's
many
Village and stuff.
loopers do you see out there at amusement parks anymore? I got my wife to go on the looper, and she doesn't like going upside down.
I love it. And the corkscrew, except for there's an art to the corkscrew. You need to keep your head back, otherwise your head's going to go like a basketball.
Right.
And you're coming out with a headache. Yeah, it's just those are kinds of things where I need a rider, somebody who's going to ride every freaking ride. And when I get to the last time I was there, it was, oh, I'm not going on that ride. What in the fuck? You said you go on every ride. So I went on a ride myself.
So
Bugger it.
that what did I do? Get
How
off of
did
there.
that swing thing look scary? I don't understand.
What did I
It was
do?
called the cyclone. It swirls you around. You don't even feel anything.
There it is. Flying turns. So that one is the bobsled ride right there that they had. And that thing was crazy. It was like 3 carts that were attached to each other, but they could independently move left or right, which was really weird. So if you shifted your weight a certain way, this thing would not bobsled very well. But I mean, it was still a hell of a ride, man. I gotta say, if you're ever out in that area and you go to Knoebels, that is a must ride right there. Must ride right there.
I've been to Busch Gardens, right?
I don't think I've been to Busch Gardens.
I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember it. You know, we met up with family when we were in Florida. And of course, I went to Disneyland. We went in the castle ride. It's fun.
Disneyland or Disney World?
Whatever.
California or
One
Florida?
in Florida. Not the first one.
Oh, that's Disney
Second one that was
World.
built.
I don't know Disney World. I haven't been to that one yet.
Oh, sucks to be you. I have.
I've been to
We didn't go to the
Disneyland.
first one. Yeah, well, that's the
Haven't
first
been to
one that
Disney
they
World.
built in Anaheim.
It's still cool.
It's still cool, but it's more like Pixar now, right? It's still cool, he says.
Quit picking on the
See, we're getting
the
it.
guy that
I'm
can
sorry,
only
we're getting
afford
it Disney
Kmart
World.
kickers. Quit picking on the guy that can only afford Kmart kickers. All right, just because I can't afford Disney World, don't pick on me. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay. Don't cry.
I'm not crying. Just say.
It was 1982 when I went. That's the same year Canada's Wonderland opened.
That was
Yeah,
like
fireworks.
that's like when I turned 1.
What?
Yeah.
PDF, do you see? I'm older than these people. Ha 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 ha. You're a young puppy, young grasshopper. See? You're a fucking young grasshopper.
See, I thought I was old over here. Now I feel a whole lot better. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
No.
just kidding.
What year are you?
Born in 81.
81. Oh my goodness. 77 here. Cha-ching.
Oh, that's not too far off. I mean, damn. You're making it sound like you're like
I'm
mad
still
old.
older than you. I have always been the youngest one, but I'm older than you. Yeah, this is great. I'm older.
Makes you feel good in a way, doesn't it? I kind of like having
It
that
does.
aspect of I'm not the stupid young one anymore. I'm the stupid old one now.
Yeah. But you see, I don't, age is just a number, right?
Right? That's why I say I'm a level 41.
A level 41.
Level 41, like in video games, I'm a level 41.
Oh, buggery. He plays video games. That's the freaking problem. You're all stuck in these fucking video games. I
Hell
play
no, I'm
Atari.
not stuck in video games. You actually want to know what I've actually been getting stuck in here recently? You know about geocaching, right?
Yes, of course. I can't find the one that's sitting by the tree. Look, he
No.
graduated in 81. In 81, he was done school.
So that's what I've been into. I've been exploring.
Yeah, geocaching. You see, if I do find it, and I haven't, I've tried looking for it. Apparently, it's kind of off slightly of what the geocaching is.
It might
But they do it here.
be. It might be because we had one that we found yesterday that was like 235 feet off of the mark.
Yeah, where I sit, okay, on my tree, that's where it is. So of course they take the picture of the tree, and now they kind of put a little dot there so people know like this is the tree, and
Right.
it's somewhere around that. That way they're
So
not like I found them like, what are you doing behind there? And that's somebody's like you're almost in somebody's backyard, motherfucker. So who are you?
right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
if it's in a public area, then it should be okay. But I understand where you're coming from. It's like, who are you? But you could be looking for like something like this.
right.
That's
I mean,
that's a fake rock. So it's got a false bottom, and then
that's
you
the
open
thing.
it up. Or you could be looking for something as small as this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a bison tube, and all it's got is a little log in it.
Well, they're
You know,
putting it in the containers along our river. So when they get washed up or what have you, they call us like little forest helpers because that's what we're going to do. It's Hogwarts or something like that. And I'm like, what? So when we see these things kind of like, what is this over here? Oh, all right. Opening it up. I could, if I found it, I would put something in there, donate something.
that's
People
what we
would be
do.
like, yeah, exactly. I'd be like, huh, you want to see a pixie at work? Here I am. Paint
My
a
wife
rock, there you
actually,
go.
my wife actually wants to create a cache that you open up, and it's actually a fairy village.
See? I used to play that video game. I got my daughter hooked on it.
I'm just
It
trying to
was
figure out how to do it. So I'm thinking I'm
Tinkerbell.
probably going to have to get a stump, something, and then core it out and then place it in the ground somewhere. So that way it still looks like a stump, but you're able to open it and it's like you found a secret fairy village.
You know what? There was a backyard here, and unfortunately, the people moved. You could see it from the street, and I pointed this out on one of my lives. He had all these little lights and little doors. It looks like little gnomes would live there. And it's right there at the river.
There was a
It
little
was cool.
something up on our mountain, kind of like that. Because there's the mountain that we got next to us has a bunch of nooks and crannies that you can use. And somebody took a couple of gnomes and stuck them in, like stuck one inside there, took like a dollhouse table and chairs and
Yes.
stuck it in there, and then ran a light in there from an old, you know, solar light. So it had light on the inside of it, and they had a gnome sitting on the outside of it. But I think somebody like destroyed it because I have not been able to find it again. And I wanted to make that a little geocache, but I think I'm going to have to create one. And I'm
I'll
just
give
afraid
you
of,
it.
I'm just, see, my whole thing
I'll
on
give you
sticking these
ideas.
things out is just afraid of people like taking them because I'm going to put a lot of effort in my shit.
I came across cool little things like that, and PDF is pissed off now because there's no 5x8 plywood in mayonnaise, Florida. He's upset.
Is there a plywood shortage?
Well, they're gonna kind of
Oh,
take things away
yeah.
from
What
you.
the fuck is up with that?
They're
They're supposed to
taking
be
things.
like constantly stocked.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're gonna do it to rile you. See, now you're pissed off.
See, I
On your
keep
way
telling
out,
the wife that the supply chains haven't been getting any better.
get
And
the
then
camera.
she's sitting there telling me that the news is now saying that COVID is getting worse again in the United States, kind of like how it was at the beginning again. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Horse shit.
Are we looking at getting locked down again?
Well, locked in your house, maybe.
What about those jibby jabs? What happened then? Like, what happened?
What happened? What
What
happened?
happened? What happened was
I don't. I could see the shit when they lie to you and talk with their left hand. Like, oh, we really don't want to do this, but we're gonna do it anyway.
right.
PDF, do a video. I'm in Lowe's, and there's no wood.
That would
What up
be
with this?
epic.
When there's
But
trees
then he'd
around.
probably get trespassed from there, and he needs his
I don't care.
supplies.
He
So
needs to do a video saying, I come to Lowe's to get 5x8 plywood.
okay, yeah, outside
And
the store,
shows the
so that way he
price.
doesn't. I mean, he's got to be able to
No,
go and get supplies. I mean, shit, you
you
can't.
do it
At least
inside
I
the
don't know
store.
order that stuff off of Amazon yet, but
No, my
I should
friend, you
look
do it
that up.
inside the store. I do it inside the store. I don't give a flying rat's
He's
ass.
already in trouble with enough people. He doesn't need any
No,
more
no,
trouble.
you just do a quick video and say, I'm in Lowe's to get 5x8s and look at the price.
It's not
What's
the
going
price; it's
on?
the fact that they ain't got none.
What's going on with all the trees around me? I don't get it. What they're cutting down. Huh. Weird or what?
They're stuck on ships out in the middle of the ocean.
Along with your Chinese fentanyl.
Lowe's got wood,
Lowe's. Did the beaver take all the wood? Like
right?
what? Great. Ha! The Canadian beaver took.
What time is it? Oh, it's almost 12.
Oh,
I
is
ran
it?
way past time because all I wanted to do was bitch about fucking how our Supreme Court is now just fucking going against the people altogether. So,
Yeah.
for
Yes,
everybody
I am.
that's new that popped in, this was all about a Supreme Court case that I came across on News app. If you don't have News app, I suggest you download it because I got to tell you, they've at least come out with some pretty interesting news fucking articles that I have not even seen in my local news. And they deal in not only local news, but they deal in international news as well. So you can know what's going on around the world currently. I mean, usually I don't know how the hell they do it, but they got stories coming out like right as they're fucking happening. I mean, these guys are right on it. So, and they don't fuck around. But the one thing that I came across was them saying that basically Miranda rights are no longer rights anymore. And cops don't have to fucking tell you them anymore. And there is no legal repercussions to cops anymore if they use anything against you, even if it was before the warning or after the warning or no warning at all. So just
so
putting
they
it
can
out
do what they want, pretty much.
pretty much.
And you cannot, really and truly, you have to be careful the way that you're going to rebuttal them. That's the way it is, and you got to just hope that karma's going to kick your ass.
Well, I just think that the saying of "don't talk to the police" just stands even harder
Don't even
now.
look at them. Don't even look at them. They don't exist.
Kind of like
'Cause
the
they're-
small little video I did with Cheryl. I was out doing a live. We came across
Mhm.
this, perimeter that was set up in my neighborhood. I was sitting there. I wasn't saying a word. And an officer asked me if I was okay 5, 6 times before I actually replied to her, because then she walked up to me and I had to reply to her. But my response was, did I ask for help? And her response is,
Right.
no, but you're in our perimeter. No, your perimeter is over there. I am
Now, is
outside
their
the perimeter.
perimeter like an X? Because they did that over here. They
Mhm.
tried to tell us to get out of the box
Mhm.
with our
Well,
cars.
they were looking for somebody, and literally, like, there was like 30 cops to my count all the way
Mhm.
around this block. But I was standing across the street where they had their perimeter set up.
Ooh.
And they're like, you're in our perimeter. No, I'm not. That's over there. I'm sitting here filming. Oh, well, you could be talking to somebody in our perimeter. What the fuck does that matter? You know
So,
what I'm saying? And you know what's even funnier is they walked away because Cheryl had spoke up, and of course you could hear her, and she goes, "No, he's talking to me."
right.
And they go, "Okay," and they walked away.
Mhm.
Okay,
'Cause
he's talking to me.
right. Or the thing is, the next thing you do is put your headset on and just say, "I am talking on the phone."
No, because that was the whole point, was the whole fucking cop watch with the
Right.
panel. So it would have been like you on panel,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting here showing the cop watch, and you go, "No, he's talking to me." They
Right.
hassled me over my phone, but me is
Right.
okay. Me is okay that you can talk to
Mhm.
me.
So stupid, aren't they? It's like one the guy was in the car that we pay for, the car that we pay for. Um, he almost hit us. And I'm like, this kid is good. He doesn't have a signal on. He's a cop. He's turning left. And hello, you might want to learn how to drive,
Oh yeah, I forgot, with his
idiot.
long rifle attached to his front end. I had two cops walk up to me. I don't know if you saw that, but I had two cops walk up to me, and the male cop had his AR-15 and had his hand on the AR-15 like that was some sort of intimidation tactic. Like I'm supposed to be scared of his big gun and little penis. I don't know, but whatever. I don't
Right?
get that. I'm not intimidated by a weapon. You can fucking show me a bazooka pointed at me and I'm still not going to be intimidated. I don't give a flying fuck. Like if you're going to be there, I'll confront you. It doesn't matter what you have. You could have a fucking old school cannon staring at me, ready to light the fucking wick. At least I know I
Ooh.
have a couple of seconds to jump out of the fucking way before that fucking cannonball hits me, just like anything else. Newer weaponry is a little bit faster, but I'm still not afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Hmm.
not afraid of it. I'm willing to take it because I'm willing to stand up for what I fucking believe in.
And then there's the sound. There's
Yeah.
that stuff that goes around too, right? 5G weaponry. That's what they'll use on you, if anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Please post the link so I can. I have seriously been like fucking off of YouTube for a while. Like, I've been like just getting shit done, working and whatnot and so forth. So I have not
Good
caught up on
citizen
anybody's shit.
channel.
Please send me the
Yeah.
link,
Here.
or at least post the link, and then I can have it up and I can have it ready to watch because
Is that the
probably gonna
crooked
jump
cop?
off here.
Here, I'll give you his link.
No, I got his link. I got his page. I just give me the link to the straight video. I mean, that's all I'm looking for.
Hang on.
He has a spoon.
Which one is it called? Good citizen? Do you remember what you called it?
Oh, hold
Guilty
on a
until
second.
proven innocent.
Oh, damn. He's got a. Okay, I got you. Fuck, man. Hold on. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I'm completely forgot. There's a lot of
Crooked
fucking
cop.
people that now I need to go back here. Yep. Yep. PDF needs one.
I was gonna say like they need a
And
Spanish.
then No Justice needs one. Fuck. You guys got to remind me. Since the deletion, it took away everybody's shit. I got to keep all of my wrenches in everybody's channel, but nobody got to keep their wrenches.
Right. You people. He's gonna give you a wrench. The wench is gonna give you a wrench.
Eh,
You see?
I am not a wench.
Are you sure?
Maybe to my wife.
All right. See, I thought Porter
All right.
Farm
I
was
think I
pissed
got
off because he
everybody.
didn't have a wrench.
I think I got everybody. At least everybody that,
He's here.
I feel deserves. I'm going to admit I'm not going to give everybody wrenches anymore. But
Yeah.
unfortunately,
All
I
the
was
people
pushed to that aspect. I like to be cool with everybody, but apparently that can't happen. But on top of it, now that Good Citizens got that link up, I'm pulling it up on my little thing over here right now. And then I'm probably going to cut this off. I told the wife that I was only going to do this for like maybe 45 minutes. And then it ends up being an hour and 45 minutes. But it's okay because we've got plenty of daylight and we're going to go treasure hunting.
Cool.
Like I said, I'm trying to get out of the house more and fucking do some
enjoy
fun
your
stuff,
summer.
right?
And
Plus we got a
enjoy your
couple
summer.
of geocaches to go place. We're going to get into placing geocaches, so
Take your pictures.
I can bring people over to like Crafty Cat's back alley and scare the shit out of her. I'm just kidding.
Scared the crap out of me. Meanwhile, I have Coyote there.
Oh well, you don't even know how many people yesterday were like, "What are you doing?" Because I was looking for that one that was like 250 feet off or something, and it was like poking around in an alley, and people are like, "What are you doing?" Nothing, Muggle.
Nothing. Mind your business. And that's the way that the guy looked at me like, "Don't tell her what we're doing." And it's like, I don't care. It's not like I'm going to come and find your little treasures. And if I do find your treasures, then
it's not worth anything.
Hello, maybe I'll put something in there, you fucker.
Right?
Anyways,
maybe
I
it'll
talked to
bring
the girl.
people to it, and that's my aspect on it. Is maybe it'll bring people to it and open them up more. That's why I talk about it. But when I'm doing it, I don't really talk about it. Like I'm still like that stealthiness.
So he gave her a look. He gave her a look like, "Don't say what we're doing." And it was like, she's gonna tell me anyway. So she was telling me, "Oh, we're geocaching. This is where you go." Da 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 da. And of course, then she heard yipping. They both heard the yipping, and I said, "Those are coyotes." And that's when they saw the coyotes coming. And I'm like, "There you go."
Well, I'm telling
you can leave my forest. Get out of here.
You should probably look in a little nook or cranny of that tree, and probably you're going to find a little tube or something. You're going to find something small in that one.
I think
I would ask you for your location and everything so I could look it up on the app, and I could probably tell you exactly what that cache is. But I'm not going to ask you to do that on here because I'm not that much of a jerk off.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I am not. I would never do that to you, and you know that.
I'm going to give it to you.
The only thing that I ask is that, you at least give me like a general. Canada. Great. Awesome. I'm talking to Canada. See, in the United States, it's kind of hard. You can go United States, but it's like, all right, see, it's different here. We got to go by state.
There you go. I gave it to you.
We got to go by state. I go
I
by
told you I'm
state.
not frozen.
Yeah, I don't care.
Look at the
I
back
tell
chat.
everybody where I'm from. I'm like, I'm from here.
If you ever look, there you go. It sounds like Mississippi, but it's not. And I kept saying, people,
Geocaching,
I'm not
good citizen.
frozen.
Oh, dude,
That's where,
there is so many caches out there in fucking Colorado, bro. Like you don't even know. Like that's one of the top states for geocaching because of the weather out there. You'd have a lot of fun. It'd take you out in the middle of the woods, take you, dude. I found so much stuff. I wouldn't have found Jerome's original cemetery without geocaching because it's so tucked off and it's not labeled. So you can't
no.
fucking really find it. And geocaching took me there. And I was like, wow, man, to see the original Jerome, Arizona fucking cemetery was just nuts. You
You
know,
saw
they,
Lancaster.
yeah, man, it takes you to like the weirdest places, but you can come across a lot of cool stuff out there. Just go
Yeah.
to geocaching.com, man. I mean, seriously, it's an app.
What gave
And
you the location?
I've dumped into it. I've jumped into it so fucking hard. Like seriously,
Hi,
it's like
Keebler.
gambling almost. It's like a bug. I got to do it now. I'm
Yeah, well,
addicted.
there you go. Now you can find them.
Well,
Because
yeah.
there's
So you
a
find
lot
them,
on the river.
right? No,
Hmm.
hugs to you, Cheryl. Hey, Keebler. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with chat. I can't. It ran kind of fast on me.
I'm going to drop
But
down. I gave you those locations. Shh. It's a secret,
okay,
chat.
I got you.
All right. There
I
you have
got
it.
you.
That's where I am. I have to keep telling people I'm not frozen.
I
It
got
sounds
you.
like the same in Sweden. Hi, Too Tall. I'm going to the chat. Too Tall needs a wrench. He's still
Oh,
black.
Too Tall needs a. I miss Too Tall. Fucking miss Too Tall.
He's peeking with his coffee.
Yeah.
I'm jumping down.
Okay, you
Take
jump
care.
down.
You be safe when you're geocaching.
Definitely, always. You know
Wear
me.
good shoes, please.
Oh, always.
All
Pants,
right.
shoes. Out here, we got rattlesnakes, scorpions, tarantulas, Gila
Yeah, you don't want
monsters.
any of that crap. No thanks.
Nope.
We have a river rat over here, and I seen that shit coming. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to mess with those.
I didn't. There was a dog right there, and the dog didn't even see it. The funny thing is, I already saw that coming. I had a dream of this river, like a rat. That's when PDF started yelling at mouse. The mouse character. I woke up the next day like, what the fuck is going on? Yep, it's true. Then I saw a river rat.
Crazy.
And the toads. Oh, the frogs. Yeah, for sure. It's like all the people are in my woods. So yeah, just keep your eyes on the sky because there's lots of activity out there going off right now.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of activity out here, out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
You
It's
can
crazy.
see the planet, and same with the sun, with the solar flares. So
What is up
it's
with that? I've been hearing a lot about that too.
all.
That's what
You
they're
know what?
blaming a lot of the reception problems on.
Yes, yes. It's. I've been watching them since 2017. Vortexing into Earth. It's crazy. Email me and I'll give you the links
Uh,
to
I
watch
believe
them.
I have your email.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got your email right there.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of them things. I took it off my about section because there's just too many quote unquote, and I'm not saying any of you, but there's weirdos around.
yeah. No, I got you. I got your email. I'll put it into my email once we're all done here, and
Yeah,
I'll also look up that area and I'll let you know what that cache is or what kind of caches are around that area and how big they are. But I'm
I've
pretty
looked
sure you're
over
probably
them.
looking for something small.
I know where it's apparently 30. I don't want to say meters, but it's probably down that little hill there, and it'll be one of them things where I could find it if I bring my hand tools and start breaking things away.
No,
'Cause
you
it's all
shouldn't have to
free.
do that. One of the main rules about geocaching is that you don't put a hole in the ground. They don't want you digging. Like if you find a geocache, normally it will be covered up by normal brush
That's what I mean.
or rocks or something. Like you shouldn't have to dig to find whatever you're looking for.
No, that's what I mean. I would have to move away the brush from the trees because where I sit, when you see those
By
quote
normal
unquote
brush
forest bathing,
or-
that's the
or
tree right
rocks.
there.
You shouldn't have to dig to find whatever you're
But
What's going on? You got your YouTube on.
Who's this? It's too tall.
It's too tall.
Hi, too tall.
there's light.
There it is.
I'm gonna jump in your chat, but I'm listening.
It's wonderful talking to you, Crafty.
In the 2:00 nap.
Right?
Yeah, I do. It's 3:00 over on my side.
Yeah, 2:00 here. Damn Canadian times.
Hey, stop it. You're all Canadian now.
Nice cover.
You're the middle America. And then the South
Mark.
America's.
Go fuck
No.
yourself.
Hey! All right, I gotta go, see what Too Tall said.
Lord, it's hard to be humble. Good
Hard to
morning,
be
Diamond.
humble.
Is it morning again? Fuck.
It's afternoon.
No, it's afternoon.
Gotta quit taking so many. You know, it really naps are great, man, but it
I'll be in
really
the
sucks
chat,
waking up from one.
right? It does. You're right.
I hate the waking up process.
Yeah.
I woke up too early. I need to go and lay down and listen to you. Thank you.
I slept too much. That's my problem.
I've been too busy.
Well, I just
You
got
guys
back
need to-
yesterday. Yeah. I just got back
Yeah.
yesterday from a 6-hour trip. So then I ended
All
up
right, I'm
sleeping
in the
for like almost 12 hours. All right. I tell you what, since Too Tall's here, I'll smoke a bowl with Too Tall real quick and then we'll cut this because, like I said, I want to go out. I want to have some fun. I want to get out of my house.
What?
But I haven't heard
Yeah, I
anybody
heard you was
talking
out
about
crib
this.
hunting.
Crib hunting?
I heard you was out looking for a new crib or something.
I was, and it's a beautiful house, and it's got a wonderful, it's got pretty much everything that we would ever want in a house. But with the current aspects of how law is going and how Republican states are going and whatnot and so forth, my wife thinks that it would probably be better off if we moved to a blue state where we'd have maybe a couple more protections against the fucking government trying to tell us what we can and cannot do. So
Yeah, fucking government. What you doing? Oh yeah.
Well, I'd show you. Oh well, here's mine. I keep it in Tupperware.
Time to get this party started, man.
Mine's already broke up. You need to get yourself a 25-cent machine dome and have your stuff already ready to go for when you wake up.
Do what?
I said you need to get yourself a 25-cent machine dome and, have it already broke up ready for you when you wake up. These things actually keep your weed pretty good. Like your weed doesn't dry out in these things. Surprisingly, it keeps them pretty good. I think I kept like a full one of these like packed for like 2 weeks and it still came out moist.
Yeah, there you go. I was adjusting to get some
Scissors.
light on there. How's that look?
Oh, that looks nice.
How'd that look, party?
Looks a whole lot better than what I'm smoking on right now.
That's just a little one. That's just a little nug off of the nugs.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I found a crib out here by Abilene. Me and the sandwich maker are looking at. It's not going to be available for another month or two. It's $550 for a 5-bedroom, 2-story out in the country on a farm.
Hell, that's not bad.
It's an older place. Sweet, man. It's an old early 1900s house. I think about 40s or 50s.
That comes with a lot of history.
Yep. Maybe some ghost. There's also some talk of ghost on the property or
Well, that's
something.
awesome. You can
Like,
do some
cool.
ghost hunting. I know some great cameras that you can use, only $20
Hell
a
yeah.
pop.
I used to, me and a girl, we had a house in Jamestown, Missouri that we were buying to own that went south. It was a haunted house. And no shit, man, we would leave the house and come home and the upstairs light would be on, the doors would be, totally opposite of how we left it. You know what I'm saying?
It followed you home.
Huh?
It followed you home. Sometimes if you go into really good haunted places, it'll follow you home and it'll stick with you for a few days. It's weird.
No. The ghost was there before we even got there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you go to the house, you investigate, right? You come home. Sometimes it'll follow you home. It'll attach itself to you for a little bit. It's a really weird phenomenon, but it happens. It doesn't
Dude,
stay with you, but it stays with you for like a couple of days. It's weird. It's
we
like you bring
lived at
somebody
the
over.
house. We weren't exploring, dude. We lived in the house. We were buying it.
Oh, I thought you said you went to a house and then, you would come home and shit was all okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, we used to live in a house that we were buying to own, and yeah, fuck it. I mean, yeah, honey, we're going to the store. Okay. I'd run upstairs and turn the light on or something and shut the door. Come home and the door be shut and the lights off, and like, motherfucker, be here.
Right?
I mean, fucking lamps tipped over in the hall, all kinds of crazy shit, doors shut. And like, you put a fucking, door stopper in front of the door and go to bed at night, and bam, fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. What the hell was that? And there's that door stop out in the middle of fucking hallway, and the door slammed shut.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hey, Keebler, I mean, there's all types. I've is little time that I've been doing this, but I've gotten into it pretty heavy. There's a bunch of them that I haven't found yet that like were found day prior. Usually they're pretty good and hidden. Like you got like rocks like this, but I mean you got stuff that's like the size of this, like a vape cartridge. You know what I'm saying? Like you got really small stuff out there. In fact, one that I found was based on a park bench, but it was nothing but like a magnet about this big, right? And it was holding a piece of paper up to the bottom of the fucking bench. The whole point behind the cache is the log. It's not like the little trinkets in it or whatnot or so forth. It's the log. It's finding it, it's signing the log and then putting it back. That's the goal behind it, is just to sign a log. There's people out there that have set up like multi geocaches where there is no log. Like you'll have like 5 geocaches in an area, and like you have to go to like different coordinates to find the log. So you'll end up going to like 5 different caches before you even find the log. So you can find the cache, but you can't really log it until you actually have found the log. You know, you'd find a cache that says this isn't the log, go to these coordinates. It'll send you over to another one. You have to find another one, and then it'll send you over to these coordinates. It's a, you know, it's a fucked up little game, but that's the whole point behind it. And if you haven't found them, don't feel bad, because there was one yesterday that like supposedly was right in front of my fucking face and I couldn't even find it. You know, so I don't know. I mean, we've come across some really fucked up shit. Like one in Jerome was seriously, it was something this size. It was a bison tube, right? And instead of having the end on it right here, they had cut the end off. They had taken a little piece of rebar and they had welded it to the end of it, and then they had stuck it in the wall. So all you see is a little piece of rebar sticking out of a concrete wall. I mean, people are fucking devious with this shit when they're hiding their logs. Yeah, I've gotten into it pretty deep. I especially like the smart geocaches, the one that you roll up to where you open it up and you have to do a certain thing to get the cache to open up. I've been working on that myself. And you can put whatever sayings that you want on there and whatnot and so forth. I mean, that's why I ended up getting back into programming. That's why I haven't really been paying attention to YouTube, is because I've been trying to get that going. And me and the wife want to start a geocaching channel. So that's what we're doing. So fuck it. We're going to join together. We're going to join forces and go out and have some fun and get people to go outside and do stuff again. South Alabama cop watch. That's what we get, Crafty. Is the orbs and the door knocks. Lately here, we've been having shadow people. So we're not liking the house anymore. I'm getting emails. The wife says, "Are we going?" Yes, we're going.
Oh, mercy.
Too tall. Good to see you. Unfortunately, it's got to be cut short because you came in on the end of it. Hell, I wasn't even supposed to go this long.
All right, so, peace, man.
We're going to drop this off. I'm going to go geocaching. Much love, everybody. Check out the link that I have pinned. Please check out that link. Slowly but surely, our rights are being taken away. As you know, as much as the main majority of the population doesn't want to believe it, they're getting taken away. And I don't care what anybody says. I mean, we're heading towards a future of like not being very happy. In fact, my wife doesn't even want to live in country anymore. So, and it's not just because of like who's president. You know what I'm saying? It's not a stupid reason why she doesn't want to be in this country anymore. She's afraid of where this country is going. You know, through the government, through the law, through what you can do, through what you can't do. You know? Just putting it back out there, man. Keep it in mind. Don't let it get out of your mind. You know, keep an eye on the government, man. Keep an eye on what they're doing. Try and stay informed as much as possible. Even if it's not YouTube, just try and find something. Like I said, that Newsbreak app is pretty bipartisan. It doesn't go one way or another, and it tells you what's fucking going on. It tells you, you can't believe it all. Take it with a grain of salt. But still, I mean, for the most part, they're letting you know what's going on. It's a great app. I use it. It's where I get a lot of my information from, and a lot of the information that I get from it is true. Of course, I do my research. You know what I'm saying? And I've done my research on this. And yes, the Supreme Court did do it on Thursday, just as well as Roe versus Wade. This is what they pulled. And more people were concerned about the Roe versus Wade thing than this whole stripping you of the Miranda rights. And remember, it's not a right anymore because now it's been stripped. It's just Miranda. They don't have to tell you. You don't have to know. Whatever you say beforehand, whatever you say after, can and will be used against you. There is no limit anymore. You can't say, hey, wait, that's not admissible because, he didn't read me my rights before he got that information, so he shouldn't be using that information. Nope, Miranda versus Arizona is now going out the fucking door. As well as House Bill 2319 is still on the fucking books for vote. And in case none of you know, House Bill 2319 is a bill directed in Arizona to stop people from filming the police. Its very first fucking line is, it is illegal to film police without their permission. That is the very first line on that bill. And we all know how they love to just go by the first line. Fuck everything after it, the first line. But even whatever's after it doesn't fucking matter because it still restricts you from filming the police. Shit is going downhill. Shit is going downhill quick. I love Arizona. I really do. I fucking love the heat. I love the desert. I love being able to go up north and be in woods and be in pine trees and be in mountains. And then just going just a little bit north of that, you got the Grand Canyon. I love this fucking state. The state's beautiful. It's got a lot to fucking offer, but it's going downhill quick. Just along with all the other fucking states. I'm truly afraid for myself on how far the government is willing to go. Are states going to be able to, create their own laws and rights soon, here, coming up? Who knows? Because, if you can't pursue somebody federally from a state level, then how are you supposed to be able to fucking pursue somebody from a federal level? There's a lot of fucking crazy shit going on out there in our government. They are taking shit left and right, and they're going, look over here. Look, aliens. We'll talk about aliens. We'll do this. Look. Don't look over here. We're taking your Fifth Amendment right away. Don't look over here. Look, Roe versus Wade. Look, be distracted. Look. Do you see what's going on back here? We're trying to take your First Amendment away. All this stupid distraction about people taking people's guns or getting it more legislated or whatever, I'm not all up into it, but that is a form of taking away the Second Amendment. Slowly but surely, they are hitting every single fucking amendment of this Constitution. And this Constitution that we think is so fucking concrete. Concrete breaks too. It broke with sledgehammers. It breaks with regular hammers. It breaks with jackhammers. It can break. And when it does break, when they force it to break after they pounded on it enough, what's to stop them from taking complete control? What's to stop them when they go, oh, no, you lost that right to speak up. You lost that back here. Wait, when did we lose that right? Oh, it was when this was going on. This. It's all up in your fucking face. This. It happened at the same time, but it happened like this. You just didn't notice it. But you lost that. You no longer have that. It goes with the saying, they came for the Jews. I didn't say anything. They came for the gay people, the LGBTQ people. I didn't say anything. They came for me. There was nobody there to say anything for me. You know, slowly but surely, they are picking away through people, through religion, through race, through what they believe, outcasting people left and fucking right. You know, just because one thing is bad, I understand one aspect is bad, but you have to understand there's other fucking things that span usually off of that one aspect. And I hate to ramble. I do. I hate to ramble. I really should be jumping off. Thank you everybody for listening. You know me, I'm kind of passionate about this shit. Like, I kind of miss being able to, you know, really being able to say what the fuck I want to say without having to worry about a strike or worry about getting taken down or worry about this or worry about that. But it's like anything else. Whatever you say is like taking a rock in a still fucking pond, throwing it in a fucking pond and watching the ripple effect. Some ripples are good, some ripples are bad, doesn't fucking matter. It all depends on where it lands. But in the end, it affects us all. You know, because we're the shore. Eventually, those ripples hit us. And then what happens afterwards? Erosion, you know, whatnot, so forth. I mean, you can go into so many fucking metaphors with it, but you have to look at it on a logical basis that, you know, that if we start letting shit slide and at the pace that we're letting shit slide, there's not gonna be a future for our children to be able to speak up. I mean, hell, as it stands right now, I'm worried for my daughter's life. You want to talk about children? I'm worried. I'm worried if my daughter is going to be a teenager, gets raped, has to carry somebody else's kid that she doesn't want or never wanted. I'll be in a second. I'm finishing up my last thoughts and then I'm off and then we're out. I promise. They're yelling at me already. So I'm worried about my daughter's life. I'm worried about other people's daughters' lives. I'm worried about my wife's life. I'm worried about everybody's fucking on that aspect because there's a lot of ripples that come off of that. Not just one fucking thing, not just one decision. There's a lot of fucking ripples. And I think we all need to start thinking about the ripples, whether it affects us or not. Doesn't matter if it doesn't affect you. Will it affect somebody that you know? Will it affect somebody that's related to you? Doesn't affect me. What if you got a sister? It affects her. You know? Like, shit happens in this fucking world. Crazy shit happens in this world. You know? People that thought that they'd never be able to have kids all of a sudden have a kid. They weren't prepared for it. They're not ready for it. They're too old for it or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of aspects here that nobody thinks about on the small term because nobody really thinks about it. But maybe I think that maybe we should start bringing it to light. Nobody brings these aspects up. I have not seen any of these aspects come up in the news. None of them. Except for maybe rape and incest. Those are the two biggest things, is rape and incest. I know that means little coming from a guy on the women's aspect of it, but I mean, at least know that I'm with, you know, the fact that you should have a choice and that your choices shouldn't be taken away. Just like everything else, you should have a choice. And your choices should not be taken away. You are not an individual without choices. If you are told what to do, you do what you're told to do, you're a robot. You're not an individual. You're a robot. You're a tool of whatever functional system you're in. You're not an individual. With individuality comes thought, comes choice, comes decision. Not letting other people make the decisions for you. Granted, there are aspects where decisions need to be made, but they need to be made properly. They need to be made, impartially, not because, oh, this is what you feel, or, that's bullshit. You can't take everything away just because of one aspect. That's like taking away cars because people race around in them. Well, I don't race around in my car. Well, fuck it. We're taking all cars because people race around in them and they die. Or how about we shut down industry altogether because of the amount of chemicals that go into the fucking air and the amount of people that contract cancers where they can't figure out where they got these cancers from. How about we shut all that shit down? Never happen. But you're willing to do it with human life, but you're not willing to do it with industry. It doesn't make any sense to me. We are not employees of a corporation. We're not. They may think we are, but we're not. We're individuals that can make our own choices. If you have to make a difficult choice, don't say anything unless you've had to make that difficult choice. And if you don't think that I haven't had to make that difficult choice, you're sadly mistaken. Yes, it does eat at you. But if you know that child is not going to have the best quality life, sometimes it's the right decision. My opinion. And let me make note that it was a joint decision. It wasn't just my decision. But it was still a decision. I would never want to bring in a life just to watch it suffer. And these are the things that are not being brought to attention. Great. Pro-life. Who's going to pay those medical bills if it's a medical issue? There are a lot of free programs out there. True. There are a lot of free programs out there that help a lot of parents with a lot of stuff. The unfortunate part about those programs is that you have to be pretty much butt ass poor to qualify for those fucking programs. So if you want those free programs, you have to live in poverty. For the most part. If you don't reach poverty, well, fuck, you don't get those free programs, and you've got to pay for pretty much everything out of pocket unless you can find, some sort of like generous hospital like St. Jude or something, depending on the extreme medical content of it, to take in your child, house your child, and you don't have to pay a bill. But getting help like that is few and far between for people. A lot of the times, those children really have to be like almost on death's door to get into something like that. So, my opinion, but I feel that we're going downhill very fast, and if we don't watch ourselves and we don't watch our rights, we're not going to have anything. We're going to have what's given to us and what we're told. Like the little stupid post I pulled up earlier. Stop blaming the government for everything. This isn't North Korea. No, but it's sure as hell turning that way. My opinion. I gotta go. I will definitely talk to you guys later. Thank you for sticking around if you're still around. I know most people probably dropped out. It's all good. But I will talk to you guys later. Sorry to bum you guys out. Have a better day. And we'll talk to you soon. Definitely. Later, guys.